Okay, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Connect Africa channel. So today we are here, we have started a new program that focuses at least once in a week on socio-cultural issues, and that also involves or includes activism in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It's in line with that we have today here with us Kazna Asker. I would rather prefer to call her Sister Kazna Asker.
Wow.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, it's an honor to have you, really. Today our topic to discuss is fashion and activism. As you can see from the online, and I also posted on the community part of my channel. Kazan Askar is a fashion designer. Let me just say few words before we go to the question and answer session. I want to introduce her properly. So Kazna Asker is a fashion designer that has created a brand encompassing the values associated with community, activism, and charity. Kazna graduated from Central St. Martin's, becoming the first designer to showcase a hijabi collection at the SM's MA Fashion Show at London Fashion Week 2022. She was awarded the British Fashion Council Final Year MA Scholarship to fund her final collection, which has been featured in Vogue Runway, Vogue Italia, Sleek Magazine, 10 Magazine, as well as the Sheffield Star, which from where she is in England, I believe. Alongside her political activism through fashion, Kazan has contributed to community projects in her hometown of Sheffield in UK, as well as volunteering with refugees in the Netherlands and working with rural communities in Nepal alongside youth-led charity Restless Development. That's the name of the project in Nepal. Kazna has co-organized community fundraisers for Yemen and Palestine, raising over 20,000 pounds for charity, meaning British pound, for charity over the last 5 years, as well as starting her own charity project in designing and selling t-shirts, in which she has currently raised over 6,000 pounds for Yemen. That's big for your age, my sister. Okay, before we talk about the whole fashion and activism thing, I'm dying to say this because I'm an Ethiopian and your name means something in Amharic. Kazna means literally without any accent added to it. It means something like a box to keep pressure things, and like also to keep money. That's what they call in banks in Ethiopia, where they keep the money. Does that
Yeah,
mean, is that the same meaning?
yeah, it's the same in Arabic as well.
Ah.
My parents always told me my name means Arabic. So I used to think, oh, okay. I mean, it used to mean treasure in Arabic. So I used to tell people it means treasure, but then everyone's like, no, it means a box.
Okay, now that's really interesting to know. So that, yeah, I do know that Amharic, Arabic, and also Hebrew and other languages are Semitic language. So there, I definitely understand the relation there or the similarity. So I want to take you to your childhood. Tell us the moment. First of all, I mean, you tell us, how your growing up looked like, and also where was the moment that you knew you are going to be a fashion designer?
So I was born and raised in Liverpool in the UK.
I don't want to disturb before you go. I hear, I feel like your sound is low for some reason.
My sound, um, can you hear?
Okay, now it should be good. Yes.
Okay. So I was born in Liverpool in the UK. Um, and I lived in a very British community. There wasn't many other races there. So yeah, it was a very white British community. And then I was always into art in school, but I can't remember how I got into fashion. But when I was 8 years old, I won a design competition. and we had to design jockey silks for like the horse riders in
Okay.
Liverpool, and it was like a competition for the city. And all I remember is I drew balloons everywhere. So my design had balloons, it had flowers,
Okay.
stripes. It was so crazy. And then I won the competition, and I was in the like local newspaper. And then my dad said ever since that moment he knew I was going to be a fashion designer.
Too early or to be eight and really to win an award, whatever it is, it's really big. um I think it would be the same for you. So in my head, I'm thinking like at least for Africans, for most of African family, it's true, your parents are from Yemen, but you are born and grew up in England. And most people or parents, they want their children to be something else than into entertainment or a designer or anything. Like they want them to be a doctor, engineer, pilot. How was it like for you? Was your family supportive?
Um, yeah, I think so. My dad was very, 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 very supportive, and my mum. But like my dad, when he came to England, he really had like the mentality that you can do whatever you want, like you can be whatever you want to be, and he
Mhm.
really like instilled that in us from a young age. And also because we lived in a very white community, he always told us to like work harder than everyone else and to like dream bigger than everyone else, because like he really and he also really instilled the Yemeni culture into us as well. And he would always encourage my mum to be ambitious. And then because I saw a Yemeni woman working really hard and being ambitious, it really instilled it in me. But they weren't against anything creative. They just said if you want to do it, you have to like do it with all your heart. Like never touch anything with half your heart. So
Yeah.
I think yeah, he really instilled that in us.
Wow, that's so smart and really, yeah, no, I think you're lucky, I should say.
Yeah, I'm very, very lucky.
Wow. What does inspire you in fashion designing? I mean, I have seen some of your works, definitely. I know that some of the themes are a community, refugee, and then there's this charity work also you're doing. Really, what's your inspiration, from where it comes from?
Um, so I said I was raised in Liverpool till I was 12, and then afterwards I moved to Sheffield, and then I was in the Yemeni community. So I think that was like the first time I experienced community, and it really like stuck with me. And I always took those values with me, like wherever I went. So whether I did like charity work or community work, or when I started doing fashion for my BA. So I feel like they always inspired me. So the inspiration behind my work is mostly community. But then everyone would like start to ask me, what does community mean to you? And I never had an answer because I just thought, oh, it's just the people I was raised around. But I don't think that was a good enough answer for people. But
Mhm.
now I've realized I think I'm inspired by people that are really honest with themselves and that are proud of their identity and kind hearted, compassionate people that care for people. And I think that was the community that I was raised around, the Yemenis in Sheffield. So, yeah, I think my muse is kind, honest people. And I think that inspires me in everything that I do because the music I listen to is very honest. The films I watch are honest. I'm obsessed with documentaries because they're so honest. So I'm trying to be like that version in fashion.
Wow, really, I mean, it's beautiful, the thought or the concept of it, that I think you gave it even a next level to what community means. As an African, we say that a child is raised by a village. I mean, it takes a village to raise a child. I think that's the proper way of to say it. But also, you brought all this, that you are embodied by all these things that touch your life, the things that you read and you watch, and you are very selective of it. There is this theme I always read on your website and on your design, on your printings, that says "watered by one water." What does that mean?
Um, I think I saw it in a poem one time, um, but I think it was a really long poem, and then I just saw those words together, and it wasn't even meaningful in the poem, but for some reason those words really stuck out to me. And watered by one water basically means that we're all equal and we all drink the same water, but we're obviously not treated equal. So it's just recognizing community, I guess, but in a poetic way. Um, yeah, because we're all watered by one. It's so weird to explain. Like we're all watered by one water, so we all need to care for each other, and also I think water is like a universal thing that people can relate to.
Hmm.
Like the rich drink water, the poor have water. Like it's something that people can all identify to, and
Okay.
because it's like something natural as well, and we recognize the importance of water in our lives. I think
Mhm.
that it really like stood out to me specifically. Um, and then as soon as I saw it, I ran with it. I put it on t-shirts. I put it on my website. Like I think that phrase really describes community well to me.
Uh, I want you to take us. I mean, you well explained it, by the way. I mean, it's really it's common for everyone. I mean, well, it can be expensive in some places to get water, but everybody needs it. So I think that will link us all. I want you to take us really deeply into your work, including the recent, not but still in this year, right? The Vogue runway and other things, and to show us your works and to talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's walk that journey with you.
So I started my masters at Central St Martin's, which is a fashion school in London, and then I recently like finished my final collection, which was shown on Vogue Runway and at London Fashion Week. And my collection, it was a 6 look collection, and it was inspired by my community as always. But I wanted to be very specific this time, because I don't know why. I think quite a lot of people were having confusion about what I meant with community. And I really wanted to empower the people that I was raised around and the people that raised me. And I think that at that time in my life is like very specific to Muslim women and Muslim men. And I think as soon as I would mention that to people, everyone would think of the negative straight away in the news, like all the negative connotations. So I wanted to show like the brother and sisterhood of my community. So I designed in pairs. So I did matching menswear and women's wear looks for each outfit. And then this is the keffiyeh look. It has the keffiyeh scarves from Palestine and the
Mhm.
scarf of the revolution. And I'm wearing mine now.
Okay, beautiful.
And then so originally I'm a menswear designer, and I would always do tracksuits and streetwear. And obviously I had a British upbringing, and everyone would wear tracksuits, outerwear. And
Mhm.
then my other side was like my Islamic side and my faith and the Islamic garments I would wear. So yeah, I did a matching puffer jacket to the jilbab. And then yeah, I combined it with traditional fabrics from like the Middle Eastern sofas that I would see in my grandma's house with
Okay.
sportswear fabrics and tracksuits. And then this is the one the girl's wearing is a traditional abaya, but I added tracksuit details onto it.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, I continued the pair journeys. I did an Islamic thobe for the man with the tracksuit underneath to show like my different cultures. And then a tracksuit for a girl as well, and the headscarf and the cloak.
Is that abaya what you call abaya?
Um,
The one the girl is wearing?
I would say this one's like an abaya, and
Oh,
then this one is like It's a cloak that they wear in Iran and Iraq. But it's considered an abaya. Also, I really wanted to include Islamic modesty in my work this time because,
Okay.
yeah, I really wanted to empower that idea. So, yeah, these are the pairs. And this was at London Fashion Week. So, for my models, I just got my, because it's all about community. I didn't want like fancy models from an agency and then
Mm-hmm.
couldn't really identify with my work. So my friends came to model for me, people from Sheffield, Manchester, they
Oh,
all
wow.
came down. Yeah, and then these were like the backstage and the fittings.
So beautiful.
Uh,
Tell us about the prints.
yes, on the back of the garments, I created these posters for my community, and I asked I asked 3 questions: What are you fighting for? What is community? And who inspires you today and why? So I would ask everyone. I would tell my cousins to take them to school. My mum printed them at her school for me for free. My dad would take them for his friends. Um, yeah, I gave them to everyone. I took them to the women of the community, and then I got everyone's answers, and people answered them in English, Arabic, Farsi. There was so many different languages, and then I printed their answers on the back of my garments because I really wanted it to be a collaborative process. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I think I'm just talking about it, but I'm not actually doing anything about it. And I really wanted their voices to be part of the collection. So the voices were like literally in the collection.
But so you are doing something about it, aren't you?
Yeah, true. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
this is the family portrait.
Wow. So that means the other one, the one before, a family portrait, you said?
Oh.
This,
Um, yeah, so the because I always do menswear, I did women's wear to show like the brother and sisterhood of our community. So I
okay.
thought it was important to do a family portrait with my whole collection and all the models, um, because I feel like that's the definition of watered by one water, like that exact picture.
Hmm. Wow. But it's so, I mean, it's so, the picture talks for itself. I mean, nobody should say anything. Yeah. It's so beautiful, really. Uh, wow. So, how was it perceived by the organizers and the people who came to see?
um,
I
I
mean, it's a
think
new thing. You are really changing the narrative of fashion in the fashion world. Really, I really appreciate you and big ups for that. And by the way, I especially wear my community t-shirt
thank you. I noticed. Thank
for
you.
for this session. So yeah, I'm so proud. Uh, yeah. So how was the perception?
um, I think I think my tutors really liked it. They were the organizers technically. So I think
Okay.
they really liked it. I know my family and my community in Sheffield were really proud of it. I know my friends liked it. And I think I got a lot of good feedback, especially on Instagram. So many people messaged me. Um, yeah, I think I got a lot of good feedback from it.
Okay, let the pictures be there. If you have more, you can show us. But now I want to bring you back to, you know, okay, you are a fashion designer and you are obviously also an activist for your community, for your culture, um, to some extent, maybe for your religion, for your faith, let's say, maybe faith is a better word. Is there anywhere, I mean, for example, I mean, is there any way that you draw a line or it's all combined together? Because for me, academically, I mean, I always say I am a Pan-Africanist, and also I have a family who is into a Rastafari culture, and I have the children who are growing into, you know, in that culture, and my research and the work I do here, even on this platform, it's all about it always it's connected to that. And sometimes I cannot draw a line. And as a researcher, there is this concept that you cannot, if you are an activist, you cannot be a researcher because you are going to be biased. Is there such confusion, first of all, in the fashion world? And for you, how does it like, how it look like? Do you combine all together, or is there a time you say, okay, no, this is all about creativity now I have please, yeah, tell us about that.
Um, for me, I think I'm the same as you. Like everything's one because I really try and like prioritize sincerity behind everything I do. So if I'm sincere with my fashion, then I think it will naturally come across as activism anyway, because that's always been important to me. But I know what you mean, like the two different boundaries. Sometimes I think people don't take my fashion as serious, like seriously enough, because they always associate me with the message and the story that I'm trying to tell. But I don't try and draw a line either. I think me as a person, it's a true reflection of who I am. And if my intentions are pure, then I think it's fine.
I love that philosophy. I really, I would live by it. I just love it. Yeah, you are
Yeah.
such wonderful person. Yeah. Uh, Now, fashion mostly, for most of us, I mean, from the outside of it, we always connect fashion with business, right? It's a money making business, non-stop, season after season. How do you see? I mean, this is going to be your work. I assume this is what you want to, where you want to be. And how is it perceived, first of all, when you got a chance in those runway and other opportunities by the people, not your community, let's say, for this question, not from your community, but the people from the fashion world, how was it perceived by them? Do you think that you are limited? How do you see yourself? I mean, is there a specific people who are going to be interested in your work, or do you think this is like an international work?
Um, so I think after the show, I got a lot of good feedback, which I'm grateful for. But at the same time, I don't think the fashion industry is actually ready for for people to talk about things like this. I think it's really super. I think the fashion industry is very superficial because it's really based on aesthetics and looking good. And I think my work is deeper than that, hopefully. And I know there's a message behind everything that I do. So I think it's really hard right now to navigate where I go in the industry. I'm still trying to figure it out. But at the same time, I think even if there's no space, we have to make the space because I don't think there's a brand that truly represents
Yeah.
us as people. I don't think there's a brand that out there that I've ever related to that I think really represents me. So, and I don't think anyone can represent us but us. So, I think I just have to keep pushing right now for that space.
There you go. That's a whole lot of opportunity for you. Definitely. Yeah. They
Yeah.
say all challenges are opportunity. Um, so, with that being said, you believe that there is a space for people, like for designers like you, right?
I
It's
think so.
that you have to push.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's people that really want to take part and feel like a belonging to a movement. And I think I think there's a space for that in the fashion world. I just don't think it's been done yet successfully. I think it's been done in the art world, the film world, the music world, and people really identify to that. And I think it still needs to be done in fashion. But I don't know. It's hard because I don't know how to do it, but I just think it should be done.
I think you are doing it, isn't it? It's a big thing to be featured on the Vogue runway. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
so much about fashion, but it sounds very big, and you are there already making it, or making your way. Tell us about the you have an upcoming competition where you are a finalist for Fashion Trust Arabia. Am I right? From Yemen. Tell us
Yeah.
about.
So there's the debut talent category. So it's usually for graduates. So me and my collection will be going to Qatar, and I will be representing Yemen. I think they don't usually choose people from the diaspora, so this is like the first time they've done it. Or you should be born in the Middle Eastern country or North African country. So yeah, I'm glad I got through, and I'm glad I'm a finalist, and I'll be representing Yemen.
Wow, that's big, right? Yeah, that must be exciting. So when will it be? And is there a vote or anything that so that people who watch this can vote for you, or how does it happen, the competition?
So I go to Qatar in end of October, and then I have to present my collection to the jury of judges, and then they make their decision, and then they announce it at like the final gala. So I think that's how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's only people from the Middle East, right?
It's Middle East, North Africa, and
Okay,
some of East Africa as well, I think. Yeah.
interesting. Uh, I want you to tell us about your charity project, which is really big.
Um, so I created a small charity project called T-shirts for Yemen, and I designed T-shirts that had graphic prints and embroidery on. And they were all inspired by a community as well and my Yemeni culture. And yeah, I just sold them everywhere. So I would co-organize community like charity events with my sisters and my cousins, and then we would sell them there. I would sell them all over Instagram. My dad would take them to my cousin's corner shop, and he would sell them there.
Your dad is really supportive. I
Oh,
mean, not everyone. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, and then I would just keep selling them, and then I would donate all the profits to Saba Relief. Um, it's a UK charity in Birmingham that focuses on Yemen. So yeah, I think I've raised over £6,000 right now. Um, yeah, I think
So
that's my
that's like a percentage of what you sell from your product goes to the charity.
yeah. So now I donate 10% of all my products to charity. Um, yeah, but for the T-shirts for Yemen project, all the profits went to charity.
Do you have in the document or a picture to show us the t-shirts here?
I think so. Let me check.
Oh,
These are the T-shirt designs here that I have so far. So 10% are donated. 10% of profits are donated to charity now, and yeah, they're all on my website.
yeah, so beautiful. So now you only design men's wear, but now I saw also in the picture in that runway you also included women. So where do you see yourself now? You're going to do both, or are you going to focus only on men?
I think I'm going to do both, but I really like how menswear looks on women as well. So I
Ah,
guess it's more like unisex wear now.
okay. That's a way to go. You're smart. You don't have to classify yourself to one of them. Wow. Yeah. Um, what do you tell to to children and young people like you who aspire to be like you?
Um, I would say, oh, that's such a good question. Um, I would say just be sincere in who you are. And when you create, always prioritize sincerity behind your work. because I think people can really see through anything that isn't sincere.
Hmm.
And if you're always true to yourself, no one can use that against you. And you're going to have so much like backlash, not backlash, but a lot of criticism, especially when I was doing my master's. My tutors were very critical of my work, and people are going to question everything all the time. So if your intentions are pure and you have sincerity behind everything that you do,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to talk about it confidently, and you can always stick by your word, which is
Mm-hmm.
really important, I think.
Yeah, I will take that for life. Definitely.
Yeah.
No, no, you're right. Um, where do you see designer Kazna Asker or just Kazna Asker in the next 5 years or 10 years?
This
What
is
is your ultimate goal?
it's really hard, this question. I don't know why. um, I hope I have my own clothing brand. I mean,
Okay.
I kind of started it now, but I
Mhm.
hope I hope it's just like sustainable by then.
Mhm.
Um, and I hope I have influence, and I hope I have impact on people
Mhm.
in I don't I don't know in which form, but I hope that happens, inshallah. Uh,
Yeah, it will
yeah,
happen.
I think that's my ultimate goal, to have impact and to have influence. Um, and I hope it's through my fashion brand or through my films or through my graphics. So I think my goal is just to carry on creating, um, yeah, and see where it takes me.
Now that you mentioned the word sustainability, there's this thing that came to my mind. There's this new thing or new in the fashion world that they tell you if it's the product is made or if it's sustainable. So where does your work stand? I mean, I know you just started to sell them, but how are you going to cope up with that? You have a plan, or is
Um,
it already sustainable products?
I just released a small sustainable, not a collection, like a little drop right now, and I upcycled secondhand hoodies and jackets, and I put my own fabrics and my own prints and my own designs on them. Um, I think I definitely want to take that forward, upcycling secondhand garments. Um, and also, I always want to keep on reinvesting back into people and into the community and into charity. So I think that's the best way for me to stay sustainable right now. And also, where I buy my fabrics, and I only create one-off pieces right now, so I'm not in mass production. So I think I'm a sustainable designer right now. But yeah, that's always definitely on the forefront of my mind when I'm making, though, because I think it's definitely important to
Mhm.
consider that, because there's so much waste in the world, and so much people that aren't being paid correctly, and yeah, especially in fashion.
I saw that in the t-shirts, the pyramids and others, fabrics that different kind of, I mean, the kafia from the Palestine people, because mostly it's not that it's a unique one, but mostly it's used for them when they do protest and everything. So, where do you travel to get your inspiration, or you can see things and read things and you make your imagination?
Um, Whenever I don't feel inspired, all I have to do is go back home to my family, and then I'm inspired.
Wow.
So I always go back home to Sheffield, and I'm around my parents, my siblings, my cousins, my grandparents. They all inspire me. Um, and also, I think being around people from like faithful backgrounds really inspire me. Uh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think my main inspiration comes from Sheffield, I think.
From your family. No, that's really beautiful. So I am going, which I should have done. I'm going to put your website link where people where they can get your product, and also they can be part of this charity project that you have. But is there anything that you want to tell us before the end of the session?
I don't think so. I think I've said everything. Follow me on my Instagram.
Oh, that's
Kazna
okay.
Asker. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Uh, Thank you very much for your time and
Thank you for
really,
having me.
no, that was really inspiring. It seems very short answer, but that's how to, I mean, I can see the sincerity not only in your works, as you say, but also in your answers. So, yeah, it was really nice to talk to you. And thank you very much for
Thank
being a
you.
guest at
No,
Connect Africa. Yeah.
I hope I was okay. I'm actually so nervous right now.
No, you did good. Let me just end this.